Feels pretty good when you're playing when you're Lucid and all of the POVs in your highlight reel are just people getting slept by you.
Lucid has been a superstar addition to a team that looked on the wane. Of course, made it to the final of Season 1 before him being smashed by Team Envious in Apex Season 1. Looked on the wane in Season 2, Arhan having a down season. People were wondering, was he the one that needed to be out of the team for things to change? But just bringing in new support, empowering the supports, and empowering Arhan to get the dive on the Genji has been really big for Afrika Freaks Blue, who are kind of an interesting team in that their Tracer game time as a team ever is around 20%. They're very much lower on the Tracer priority. Very much expect Recry on Soldier, Arhan on Genji. So it's a different kind of composition to what basically everyone else is running. 100% Tracer for most of these players, or at least one of the players on each team, is common.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about flexibility being the key to success in a game like Overwatch, but when you're just so damn good, maybe you don't have to change things up. And Afrika Freaks Blue, that's been their run of form throughout this tournament so far.
The best teams definitely make you adapt to their style. They don't have to look at what you're doing. They do what they do so damn well, and that has been Afrika Freaks Blue in Season 3.
Yep. We expected similar results from Rogue, but we won't talk about that anymore because our first battleground is going to be Lijiang Tower. We'll see who will take the lead in this series, start things off with a victory. And honestly, if X6 can even take a round off of this King of the Hill.
Yeah, will we ever learn if Afrika Freaks Blue have a preferred map type in Season 3? Because they win all of them, Achilleos.
They prefer every map.
They do. They're just happy to play more, get closer to that sweet beef.
All right, that's what they're in it for. We'll see if they can net some of that sweet, sweet beef here today, Papa Smithy. It's been a good run so far, 12-0. Let's see if they can make it 15. As we dive onto our first match, it's Lijiang Tower.
I get it.
There we go. The fans out to play here today as we enter onto Night Market for our first round of Lijiang Tower. And really just have to wonder, how many rounds are we going to see? Can we make it to the Fabled 3 with Afrika Freaks on the board?
You want to get started with a win. Even a single map, like you say, will be a movement forward for X6-Gaming. They want to get to payload. They do not want to go down in straight sets to Afrika Freaks Blue like they did about a month ago. May 12th was when the teams faced. It has been a new patch since then. We are, just like last week, on this May 23rd patch, so the adjustment to Soldier, Orisa buffs. There is the chance for there to be different things, and X6 have also evolved their style in the last month.
They certainly have. You know, that's a very big key factor in why they're able to take down Envious.
Small point here, Arhan played 100% game time in their last series against Meta Athena on Genji. Him jumping on Tracer is already a small adjustment.
Yep, just gonna go ahead and dash straight in here his time point. Pulls out a little bit with Arhan, but goes low and has to back off. Some nice healing from the Lucio. As these teams just start posturing forward in front of the point, very deep leap in. Comes through from Mono, but he goes down. Godspeed, the double kill with the Helix Rockets, takes down Arhan as well. And now they get the pop on the Dongyan as he gets knocked out of the mech and will die. You can see Afrika Freaks Blue just going to abandon this push, and a very strong start from X6-Gaming.
And I think everyone can see the style X6 showed against Envious and here. They are waiting for the enemy to dive and then peeling for their supports and focusing the closest target, whether it's the D.Va mech, whether it's the Winston. They were not diving. First dive by Mono. Mono dies first, and so do Afrika Freaks Blue's first attempt at a push.
Time Boy waiting in the point, trying to win this 1v1 against Arhan. It might be a little bit of a stalemate for the moment as the rest of the squad for X6 just postures in front of the point, trying to stop Afrika Freaks from piling in. They will be jumping in. Godspeed gets left on, pops that tac visor, but the D.Va is right there to block him out, but still looks up, flicks over, and finds Mono with the ultimate. They will pop Dongyan out of the mech yet again, going down. And no tanky frontline here for Afrika Freaks Blue. Arhan getting picked off. This push will get staved off yet again by X6.
And just using a single ultimate there was pretty big for the side of X6. They will have the Transcendence, so will Lucid, and they're closing in on 6 ultimates of Afrika Freaks Blue. Their strongest point as a team has been like Season 1 ult economy use. So judicious about only using a single ult, sometimes none, to flip points. They're going to have a lot of options, but how many will they invest?
See how long they can hold on to these Bebe getting left on. Will be safe, and actually will pop the Transcendence here to keep everybody alive. Self-destruct coming through from Dungyan, tosses that one out, and Godsby
mistake.
actually, walks back in a second too early. Explosion does clip him, and now without the soldier, this could be the opening here for Freakin' Freaks Blue. Sound barrier comes down as they try to push further away from the spawn. Find a pick onto Chohyobin, lose Lucid, but will be firing back, find Time Boy. So decent opening as they start pushing their way in onto the point, trying to find this cap as Baby and Gilly go down. They should be able to have this one in their grasp.
Yeah, opening picks are so important in flipping points. Godsby, well, just a solo mistake, an unforced error. Falls down a second time, needed to regroup with his team, so that one isn't as consequential. Freakin' Freaks Blue had to use everything to flip the point. Sure, they have a pulse bomb now, but they only have sub 40% on their support ultimates. So the only happy thing you can say for X6 is at least they are in many ways closer to ultimates. They don't necessarily have the tools either themselves right now.
86% accrued for them after that flip came through. So still a lot of time to work with here for X6. See how long a Freakin' Freaks can hold on to this one. All the way up to 100% would be quite nice for this squad. See Mono going low, leaps back in towards the point. Donghan, or Chohyobin, rather going to be tossing out that
Lucid.
back. Yeah, does find Lucid, kills him. Nice pickoffs coming through as Recry and IDK go down, and this could very well be the recap here for X6.
Yeah, opening up with 2 supports dead, 3 for 1, now 4. So this is going to be, you'd have to imagine, the flip over, but Freakin' Freaks Blue don't have much time.
All right, well, that was a bit of a botch there by Time Boy.
Zoning pull.
Yeah, you know, just trying to keep the Devo away. Pulse Bomb a day keeps the Devo away. So tosses that one out. They will go down, and the recap comes through.
You and I go to very different doctors, by the way.
Dr. Diva.
Dr. Diva.
Yeah, waiting for that skin, Blizzard.
She's quite young. Did she have time to finish that degree? I want to see her credentials.
She was smart enough to build a mech, so she's got to be pretty intelligent. But Mono coming in, trying to delay as we go into overtime, will fall down right off the bat. Now Dongyan piling in, Discord Orb comes through. Throws down that defense matrix.
Draws the Transcendence from X6.
Yeah, but the Transcendence comes down, so Recry, this Tac Visor isn't getting much ground. Answering Transcendence there from Lucid, trying to keep the team alive. As the sound barrier comes through from IDK, they just try to pile in, try to stay alive, but Lucid will get picked off. And it seems like this might be the fight one for X6. Pulse Bomb down by Time Boy. Not going to find anything, but they're still ripping right through them. Primal Rage from Mono here. Delay as long as possible. Gets the smack off on Time Boy, but has the recall to get himself back in onto the point. As it's just an all-out brawl. Pulse Bomb onto Nosemind will actually clip onto Time Boy, taking him down as they still keep delaying. Self-destruct thrown in. Buckle will go away as Dongyan backs back out. For now, is on the point, is getting the cap, but X6 with the respawns are coming through.
Yeah, heroic delay here by a Freakin' Freaks Blue. It's been such a long engagement. Still going on. It's the next round of respawns. Vitus continues.
Dongyan still staying alive somehow, some way. Skirting around the edges of the fight, now pushing straight into the face of Godsby.
In Mini Diva form.
Forced the kill in the Baby Diva form, now duking it out with Chohyobin. Can't quite finish him off before he makes it into the mech. They'll be able to pop it very swiftly after as Dongyan gets back in. And a Freakin' Freaks Blue, it seems like maybe they've delayed this long enough. Nosemind in here all on his lonesome will die. And the recap comes in overtime.
What a heroic contest. Dongyan coming in at the last second to just contest a second time after Mono gave Opa his life. And they used so many tools, X6, to keep it, that a Freakin' Freaks Blue in all the pandemonium have built up very large ult economy percentages on basically their whole team short of the Primal Rage. There's no guarantee that X6 will even pick up this first map.
Yeah, Time Boy going low, has to dash back out, keeps himself alive, and has that Pulse Bomb ready to go. You see Arhan's coming through, not going to find him.
Down.
Recry pops the Tac Visor, takes out Time Boy.
To
maintain control. So yeah, using a couple, but now encroaching on 90% here is a Freakin' Freaks Blue. It goes down.
Transcendence going to be the big ultimate. It might be enough to build up the sound barrier from Gilly. They get one attempt here, X6, with a large bank of ultimates. But they need to shake off what would have been a frustrating attempt at closing the map just about 30 seconds ago.
Team trying to keep tabs here on the
Time Boy's actually caught.
He gets picked off. The Helix Rockets just take him out. Now Godsby popping that Tac Visor, going to try to find some kills, but the sound barrier comes through from the Freakin' Freaks Blue. They push forward with the Transcendence, self-destruct up in the air. No bubble, and Godsby will go down yet again as Dongyan picks up the kill into overtime as the sound barrier comes through for X6, but Bebe falls right off the bat. The boop, killing him, knocking him off the map. Nosemind going down. Hillman almost out of the Mac. Could be very dangerous here for X6, who desperately need the retake. Time Boy dashing around as best as possible, but doesn't have the recall available. Self-destruct down to zone, and a Freakin' Freaks Blue, despite the strong start from X6, will take Night Market.
That was a really memorable Night Market, just a single round of assault, of control. goes both ways. We thought X6 had done it when Mano gave up his life, but Donghyun flying through the window allowed there to be, what, a minute and a half contest as Afrika Freaks Blue didn't have ults. Neither side really did. Single ones being invested by X6 to hold the point. Can't hold it. We see Afrika Freaks Blue build up their ultimates during that long fight and then use them better. Godspeed twice being caught by the Diva Bomb. The first time, pretty unacceptable, was just a mistake. The second time, trying to contest the points. We get a replay of Donghyun's heroics as just the baby Diva soldier.
That's exactly how I was going to put it. Just pushing straight into the face.
Pilot Diva just being damn devastating here.
I mean, she was more of a soldier than the soldier she just killed, so it was very good from Donghyun. But now we move over to Control Center, see if Afrika Freaks can close this out with a 2-0 to claim Lijiang for themselves and start the series off with a win. Have not suffered one yet, but Donghyun, that hook comes through. He's going to get popped out of the mech, but Godspeed has already been taken down from Arhan, who is swapped over to that Genji.
Yeah, the front line is completely down here from the side of X6, so it's probably going to be Afrika Freaks Blue with the first contest. Arhan jumps on the Genji for the first time, chases down Gilly as well on the Lucius. So some adjustments in team comp. X6 really did see the Genji coming with the McCree start by Godspeed. He's back on soldier duty. They're looking for double hit scan to try to take Arhan down before he can pop that first Dragon Blade.
It's going to be difficult because he's already at 92% off that first push.
You get one chance, Kilios.
He's doing some serious work, and they're a ways away from a Transcendence.
But the big problem also is it's going to have to be eco pushes for a while because Godspeed is going to be way behind in tac visor timings, and just single ultimates from Afrika Freaks Blue might be able to hold it. It feels weird to condemn them to this, but maybe X6-Gaming are already looking at an 80 to 99% contest when they actually have a war chest of ultimates to stand up to Afrika Freaks Blue.
Well, Bebe's getting closer to that 82%, so should have a Transcendence by the time the all-in comes in. As I say that, the Dragon Blade will come out. Already finds Baby, dashes through, looking for a little bit more. Arhan does go low, has to peel back, but helps his team scoop up 3 kills, just stopping out X6 yet again.
And in the Afrika Freaks Blue style, it's always one ultimate. They don't need nano visors, just the Dragon Blade to stop the Bebe on the side of the Zenyatta, picking up ult percentage. The support still approaching their first ults. Transcendence on both sides, but tac visor for Recry. You bait that Transcendence, Recry will do the rest.
Yeah. Rip right through him. Sound barrier on the way from Gilly will help mitigate that damage. You can see the leap in coming through immediately from Nosebite. Tac visor does get popped. The Snowcry just fires straight into the barrier. Transcendence does come through as they try to get this recap. About 50% on that one, and Recry being threatened in the back line will go down. Now Godspeed with tac visor of his own, just firing away as that sound barrier does come down, but 2 members already dead on the side of Afrika Freaks Blue. Not going to be profiting off of this one, and Godspeed, relatively healthy as he will be duking it out here with the Winston, kills himself in the end. I believe with the Helix Rockets, just point blank, a bit too much damage. But the cap has not come through. It's now at 92% here for Afrika Freaks.
And they have a Diva advantage as well. Donghyun sitting on the point. Primal Rage finally popped by Mono.
Dead. Gilly and Time Point both go down. Mono taking him out. No Spite goes down. The delay tactics here from X6 being exhausted.
They're not going to get there.
Kyobin, can he make it in time? It's not going to happen. And Afrika Freaks, despite how close it was on Night Market, just completely shatter X6.
Lucky number 13 for Afrika Freaks Blue. They continue this unprecedented run that is undefeated still. 1 map into the winners bracket final of the round of 8. Really good stuff from them. The fact that they could actually pick up Night Market was insane with that last second contest. But when they win the first salvo after losing the first salvo on Night Market, it's back to the Afrika Freaks Blue we've seen in previous maps. Basically, ult economy on point. Single ult to hold a push. Great target selection, taking down the supports. No peel coming through that time for Choyobin on the backline meant the support ultimates were late. The first real contest at 85% after the late swap from Godspeed to Soldier. And we're already going to see the timeout or the tactical pause initiated because X6 need to regroup, and understandably, they might actually need a talking to from their coach.
I think they really do. I mean, it was so close on Night Market and then completely get shattered on Command Center. Is that just how their mentality is going to be after that first map?
I mean, you can feel it, right? Even us as casters watching this, you're like, man, you must feel really bad to not be able to close out Night Market and kind of predictably Control Center, lose one fight, lose the map, and lose that particular set there for the side of X6-Gaming. So they will continue to consider their options. They do not have a substitute player, so they will not be adjusting lineup.
They were almost halfway there to giving Afrika Freaks Blue their first map loss.
we have to kind of look at comical little intervals on Be Creative because of Freak of Freaks Blue have been so dominant. And it's cool that it was a team that people said, okay, Lucid's good. They're changing things up. They needed to change things up. Support's straight upgrade. But they still had their question marks. And for them to be this good lets you know that their practice and also the support staff had the right trust in the right players. Things have gone swimmingly for a Freak of Freaks Blue.
Yeah, maybe it really is just the motivation of getting some meat at the end of the day, being able to actually go out to Korean barbecue. Maybe that's what has just surged a Freak of Freaks skill set forward.
Let me tell you, the first prize pool is definitely going to help you with buying as much Gogi as you want. Achilles, well, I mean, when it comes to map selection, just remember we are moving to hybrid for our second map. Kings Row, that's 2-0 for a Freak of Freaks Blue. Obviously, they have won at every opportunity, but you want to take them away from Ultimate Comfort, which on hybrid this season has been Kings Row.
Yeah. It's also hard to identify their comfort because they haven't been in a position where they picked their own map.
That's true. But I mean, all you can do is say, well, let's not go with it best.
Yeah.
It's kind of all you can do when a team is 13-0. The historical data points don't really count for much. Does Season 2 really apply to Season 3 when the meta has changed, the lineup has changed? Clearly, the identity and communication has changed. A Freak of Freaks Blue in some ways are the same. Again, ult economy use, target selection, Season 1, a Freak of Freaks buzzwords for casters still very much apply to Season 3. But everything else has wholesale change.
You know, we're still getting set up for the funniest timeline that we could ever have here, Bob.
What's the funniest timeline?
Undefeated all the way into the final. Freak of Freaks Blue somehow envious. They make their way out of the losers bracket. They make their way into the semifinal. They win their way into the final, go up against the Freak of Freaks, and then 4-0 them again.
You know, I'd also accept a kind of counter offer, which is a Freak of Freaks Blue undefeated 3 maps into the final, reverse sweep. That would also be sweet.
Okay, actually,
or maybe they could just win undefeated. That'd be cool too. I actually have no pony in this race. I'm happy for the best team to win, and the best team this season has been a Freak of Freaks Blue.
Yeah, they've definitely set that stage for themselves. There's a couple seconds remaining here on the tactical pause. Coach is already out of the booth, so X6, hopefully they get a nice, good talking to. Not a stern one necessarily, but one to remotivate them, get their minds back on track.
Escort, Assault, there will be strong preferences, I predict, for the side of X6, but hybrid has kind of been up and down for them. They don't necessarily have a percentage map, so avoiding Kings Road, maybe that's a good idea. Otherwise, it'll be very interesting to see what the decision is by X6-Gaming when it comes to map choice. We will find out now.
So Escort selection will be Eichenwald.
Interesting. We're going to open up onto Assault. Don't necessarily have creative hero pools for this one. Maybe Godspeed will jump back on the Genji. Look for a dive there. Not a pharmacy team. Made a little bit of it, but don't necessarily see it as a staple. Freak of Freaks Blue, they take all comers. They're happy to jump onto Eichenwald.
Doesn't matter what map, what battleground it is, Freak of Freaks Blue is always ready to brawl. Uphill battle already set here for X6-Gaming. It was an uphill battle when they showed up at the studio today, but now already down a map. Freak of Freaks Blue potentially moving to match point after Eichenwald if they can take it away.
Freak of Freaks Blue have really taken the mantle of champions elect. They basically say, hey, we're the favorites. You come and contest us. We're ready for all challenges.
Well, we're ready to get it as we load up for our second map. Like I said, let's see if our Freak of Freaks Blue can make it match point as we move over to Eichenwald.
Get it?
The battle has continued, but this time it's with the fan chat.
Yeah, now there's a war on the screen and in the audience. As always. No Lutic High fans here today, but they still are matching that custom.
X6-Gaming going to be opening up their defense. You see creative hero choices, and after that attack on Dorado, you're never sure what will actually be in. We've seen protect the Torbjorn strategies before, so outside chance that Choyobin will be actually sticking with this pick, but could also change, of course.
Time Boy stick with the Mei. Could be interesting. I mean, classic strat here on Eichenwald, walking up to the first choke point, just, walling off 1-2 members, isolate them from the rest of their team, and pick them off as they come in.
And then also, let's say it works. You stick the landing, you get ultimates, then you have Molten Core and Blizzard, which solo usually repel pushes. So this is very much a, if things start well, they really should end well strategy from X6-Gaming. We've seen variants of this. Kongdu Panthera ran Reinhardt to also be there for the double shielding. Risa buffs have come through, only 8 seconds on that protected barrier. Gonna be difficult without Pharah to find creative ways to actually contest this Torbjorn turret.
Well, looks like we're gonna get a bit of a treat here as Recry pops up, trying to spot out.
Doesn't see anything.
Yeah, won't be able to spot anything. We'll see what he swaps over to. Gonna be the Soldier here.
No surprise there, that's most played. 82% game time on the Soldier. Arhan though.
Yeah, gonna be on the attack Sombra right off the bat.
And will be useful and potentially
have to get the hack first.
Getting things going. They now have plenty of information about the Torbjorn.
But I don't think they've seen Time Boy.
Look at Gilly, he's already at 73% charge.
Good lord, yeah, he's just firing away. Gilly's gonna have that Molten Core so quickly. Almost has it as fast as the EMP from Sombra.
And that's something. That's a story right there.
That's damn impressive.
That's the barrier used. They also have the projected barrier used. Arhan has ultimate. This can sometimes be a mind game. Here's the ult.
On the backside, he goes ahead, throws down that EMP right off the bat.
Molten Core used as well.
Come down, and Molten Core, as you say, does get popped. Arhan going low, retreats to pick up a health pack, and IDK will get picked off here by Gilly, but Bebe and Joyhobin have both fallen on the side of X6-Gaming, so maybe this comp not playing out the way that they want it to. Donghyun will get popped, as does Godsby. Recry now has the high ground. Will drop down, trying to win this duel against Time Boy. Almost has the freeze, but here comes Mono to the rescue, picking up the triple kill. Recry will finish off that turret. And X6, it was a cute strategy, but in the end, does not pay off.
Yeah, Transcendence, such an important tool against the Sombra ult. We'll revisit that many times during the course of this tournament. No Zenyatta here. The strategy to protect the turret worked to a point, but as Arhan dived in, they took out, crucially, Bebe first. As we see, Arhan contesting the high ground.
Just jumping in here, trying to get rid of Godsby. Takes him low. Biotic Field will heal him back up. As Arhan leaps down and starts looking for that Dragon Blade.
Genji, definitely more useful than the Sombra at contesting high ground on this map, which is so important.
What do you mean? You don't want to just translocate onto the high ground, Papa Smith?
It's an option you could take, but I don't recommend it.
All right, well, Godsby popping the tack visor, but can't get a beat on Arhan. Transcendence is down on top of the payload, so not getting too much done with this ultimate. Meanwhile, self-destruct comes through. This time, Godsby's not going to get clipped by it, but will get taken down from behind. IDK and Lucid both just sniping him out. Will find the kill.
And the cool thing to see about Afrika Freaks Blue is how quickly they adapt to Kilios, jumping onto the Sombra in an instant when they got the information about the Torbjorn. The Molten Core was well kited away from as well. Arhan chasing down members, has the Dragon Blade. Two big ults on the side of Afrika Freaks Blue, but we know this team well. They are not interested in using them until they have to. Making really good time on the side of this map, especially when the opening strategy is not one that could be scouted from X6. Quickly adapted, like a great team does, and now knocking on the door of this castle.
Yeah, I mean, the Afrika Freaks hype train's about to roll into the station here and get point B. Has not been stopped this payload once. And a boost will come through in on the nose spike. Dragon Blade in the backside, drawn out by Arhan as he dives in, looking for a kill on the Bebe. But the sleep right at the last second will come through, but can they kill him?
It's the only win at Kilios, because look at the kill feed. It's all red. The only win is what we saw on the map. Not going to be a consequential one. Arhan taken down, but all this time the payload was pushing, and the famous last-second contest that has thwarted teams for 4 to 5 minutes never happened, and they're already pushing into the spawn in the castle.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes here for Afrika Freaks Blue just to make it to point C. Plenty of ultimates available for X6 to stall this out, but still has not been working out for them. Afrika Freaks Blue have just been so much better mechanically, using less ultimates. See that self-destruct does get tossed out, not going to find anything from Hyobin. Now Donghyun trying his own luck. Will find two.
Double.
Bebe and Time Boy
both
dies
as well.
Go down, and Godsby dies off screen,
That's
falling off the
four
map.
row.
No Smite dead. Just 2 remaining. Hyobin gonna get popped out of the neck as Gilly goes low. Should just about be finished off if they could just track down that pesky Lucio. Finally get it. And pretty much unhindered this entire time, the payload just keeps going.
And the one time X6 could once again find a defensive position, just thwarted completely. Lovely use of the self-destruct from Donghyun. We're going to see a last-second contest. That's all X6 can hope for. They have 2 delay tools, though.
Well, it's going to be Transcendence in the attack visor out here from Recry, trying to get through this monkey. No Smite going low, does have the Primal Rage available for him. He's going to pop it and try to buy some time off this clock for X6 Gaming. Hyobin popped out of the mech. has not gone down. But No Smite will finally kill Recry.
1 for 1 in the end, though.
Yeah, they do exchange, and Dungyan gets another self-destruct kill, finds the enemy Diva, takes him out. Now Arhan with the Dragon Blade, dashing through, just keeping everybody relegated back towards the spawns, and the payload's about to connect. Gilly dropping down off the high ground, just trying to contest this as long as possible. Will go down by Mono, just zapping him to death. Yopin piling in No Smite as well, but they're just getting picked off one by one. And it seems like it's just a matter of seconds before this payload is completed.
Yeah, they're just playing so smart on the payload. Just one more member there. It's going to push now. That's going to be it. 3-minute time bank left for a Freak of Freaks Blue. Sure, Eichenwald was made easier. The doors stay open, but the accelerator never stopped going. This payload was bumping from the side of a Freak of Freaks Blue and X6-Gaming. You see the cost that you get when you invest in heroes that are only suitable for point A, because the moment that their strategy failed, swap, 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 there's an ultimate advantage because the swaps don't need to come in as much from the side of a Freak of Freaks Blue. Sure, they jumped on Genji, but everything else stayed the same. Ultimate disadvantage, they lost the entire Streets phase, and the Castle phase, they couldn't claw it back there either.
I mean, I haven't looked at it myself, but I expect that there's at least one comment on the competitive Overwatch thread that says, Envious died for this.
I mean, Envious avoided playing a Freak of Freaks Blue.
I mean, hey, that's a win. Sort of. A win with a loss, you know.
You want to get out of this group, a Freak of Freaks Blue are being the team they've been touted to be, now already at going to be basically hitting on the door of being 14-0. Not yet. We still have to give X6-Gaming a push, but emulating what we saw from a Freak of Freaks Blue, best of luck. So on the defense here, on the side of a Freak of Freaks Blue, much more standard. No Torbjorn Orisa hijinks this time.
It's a shame that the Torbjorn got that Molten Core faster than we've ever seen, and then just did nothing.
And it wasn't just the Sombra. The Sombra ult was critical, but the Sombra ult was at the same time as they dived in, took down Bebe on the Ana. Target selection again. I feel like I'm going to be a sound... Very much a soundbox here. Basically, press one button, you'll hear ult economy, press another button, you're going to say target selection, because of Freak of Freaks Blue, they just do it so well. The soundboard is real.
And then the third one's eco push.
Yes, I'll say that as well. No dry pushes here, we're wet. Damn wet. Don't think about that
I was gonna have something to follow up, but I decided to just let it go. So we'll just go ahead and focus on X6, moving out with the attack. Bebe swapping over to the Sombra, trying to do his best Arhan impersonation. We'll be pushing forward, looking for somebody to just start building ulti alpha.
Or to start contesting a more advanced health pack to deny resources away from the side of a Freak of Freaks Blue.
Hasn't gotten in much of a position for that yet. Time Boy looking for an angle to get in, work towards that pulse bomb.
Very flexible comp. The dive does start with Simano jumping in.
Yeah, easily being Discord Orbs thrown down onto him, but he's still being topped up. Will not fall, so really great healing coming through from the side of a Freak of Freaks. Time Boy has to force the recall, and X6 will just peel back. We get Arhan though.
Arhan taken, but of course it's the Tracer, and we'll have short respawn. Wasn't much of an eco push for a Freak of Freaks Blue, as it was mostly about... wasn't much of an eco push for the side of X6-Gaming. Some ult charge, but nothing more than that. Testing the point again here.
For a little bit more, nearly have that first tick. Bebe has to jump back, has the MP ready to go, sprinting in. Should be looking for it here.
There it
throw
is.
it down. Not sure how many members that it clipped, but looks like Donghyun was one of them. The attack visor comes out from Godspeed, finds Arhan, and Time Boy dashing around, gets rid of that baby Diva. So it seems like the cap will be coming through here for X6. So a bit delayed compared to a Freak of Freaks on the attack, but still a lot of time to work with. 5 minutes to get them through the Streets phase and over the bridge.
And Attack Sombra seems to have been the tonic to take point A of Eichenwald 2 games in a row. But you notice the difference. A Freak of Freaks Blue, because they went for this balance comp that can contest the high ground, drop in and dive, they don't actually need to make adjustments to their defense, and they will have ultimates. And the ult economy is there to be able to contest the cart more than X6-Gaming was able to on the defense.
Time Boy's being a very sneaky Tracer. Can he get the massive pulse bomb? Throws it down, doesn't find anybody to stick. Will just take a little bit off the Diva mech. And now he has to deal with Arhan, who does go low, dashes over into the low ground, and will fall in the end. Time Boy coming out on top of that one, but Godspeed's been picked off screen, as is Time Boy, as IDK does find him.
Ultimate was used from Lucid there onto the Winston. Now popping the Primal Rage to deal with the last of the Sombra.
Gets a smackdown into Bebe, just trying to keep them off this cart, drain that clock as much as humanly possible.
Arhan, again, because he'll have to drop down a lot, jumps onto his favorite Genji over the Tracer. And guess what? He has plenty of latitude to build ult percentage because Recry, Donghyun, IDK all have ult, so there's plenty of time to be bought with the zoning tools available to Freak of Freaks Blue.
Up on the high ground right now is Recry. Pops the attack visor, firing away, but the sound barrier is there to eat up a lot of the damage. Big heal deny comes through, and the Helix rockets will find Gilly. Well sniped out, now just firing into No Spite, building up towards another one as he just leaps around, tries to get that payload moving yet again for X6-Gaming. Recry will be contested, the barrier comes down just to mitigate the damage output in onto No Spite, but he's still dangerously low, could very well fall. Loop comes down as Recry falls off the high ground. Just trying to get some damage in where he can, but for the most part, X6 have been stopped.
But the important factor there is exactly that the payload did not move at any point. I think he comes back in with the sound barrier.
Throws this one down as they still try to posture forward. Recry gets taken out this time around, and Bebe actually finds Mono. This could be some crucial openings here for X6 to work their way over towards the bridge. Still have 3 minutes on the clock. So definitely within the realm of possibility for them to get the completion, but all the way to point C is where things get very difficult.
Yeah, disengaged by a Freak of Freaks, but they're looking for the last second test. Something like an EMP might stop that, though. Here is Bebe. He's spotted. Has to jump back.
Tries to get the hack off, but can't quite find it. Does get one in onto Mono. Dragon Blade coming out here from Arhan. Yeah, Nano Boost on top of it. He slices his way right through that Scientist. No Spike goes down.
Both the tanks.
Yeoman as well. The front line gone from X6. And yet again, single ultimate investment picks up Bebe right at the end for good measure.
Hey, just because we call it Nano Blade, it's still 2 ultimates.
That's
killing
true.
us. It feels like one, especially when you're on the receiving end, but Recry, at the same time, almost has his tack visor. They have other delay tactics, and hey, worst comes to worst, they might actually push through the castle doors, but the timer, it keeps going down, and the hopes for X6-Gaming get more and more margin.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much if they can complete this, they'll be starting with as much time as a Freak of Freaks Blue have remaining in the bank. So definitely a rough spot to be in. But need that completion to deny the match point to tie up this series, actually make it a series. EMP does come through here. Recry has the attack visor available, cannot pop it, but he's still just perfectly fine to sit up here on this high ground. Now dropping down, chasing it onto Time Boy, takes him down. Diva comes forward, should get popped out of the back, will actually throw that self-destruct at the last second as Godspeed goes down. Arhan dashes through, stops Yeobin from re-entering the mech. And that is going to buy so much more time here for Freak of Freaks on the defense.
They don't need to count very high to know how many ultimates they used. There was just a single coming through from Recry. Swapped attack visors. Able to use it, and that was with Mono going down first as he died during the EMP. Couldn't even use Primal Rage. They desperately wanted to invest in, but hey, his team did him a favor. Won the fight even without the Winston. And this is always the case. They don't often have both DPS ults, but they never seem to need both of them.
Yeah, now it's a minute remaining. Just the Pulse Bomb available here for Time Boy, so not a lot to work with for X6. Arhan going in, Dragon Blade drawn out yet again, finds Bebe. Can he get more? Everybody's clumped up, and he will die in the end to Gilly with the boop, but still several more kills coming through for Freak of Freaks Blue. A 3-for-1 in exchange, looking for more as Time Boy goes low. And Yeobin, well, he will be able to retreat safely. But it was basically just a bit of mercy being shown by Mono.
I love the positioning. Even though Arhan went super deep, was on 42 HP for the most of it, was inevitably going to die. Recry at the same time, parked on the bridge. No one's able to close him down. The side of X6-Gaming, Choyobin's basically focusing on shutting down the Genji solo. At the same time, Recry free hitting. They win that engagement, and now it needs to be done in overtime if they're going to actually push to this castle.
Time to pile through here. Self-destruct comes through from Donghyun. Can he find anything? Yes, he can. Gets rid of Bebe, and Gilly has already gone down. Both supports from X6 being sniped out right off the bat. Yeobin trying to contest with this soldier, but he's going to get popped out of the back. Can he come up with the kill? The answer is going to be no, because there's another tag visor there for Recry. Will get taken down by Godspeed on the flank. But Godspeed, the only one there to tag the payload, will go down. Gilly desperately tries to make it in time, but a Freak of Freaks Blue come up with a victory on Eichenwald, and they are now at match point.
14-0, finally observed. Super good stuff from a Freak of Freaks Blue. Even adapting, which is not something they've had to do very much. They've been the trendsetters, adapting to the static defense. Little taunt there coming through from Recry to the cameras. Lots to smile about for Freak of Freaks Blue, but they just do it all so clean. That's the thing you take away is we've had pandemonium, we've had close series that have gone to overtime. Freak of Freaks Blue never seem to need extra time because everything is done by the book, and it's the book they're writing themselves.
Poised to go ahead and close this out 15-0. Here's a Freak of Freaks Blue, one more map win to get the repeat 3-0 over top of X6-Gaming like they suffered during the group stage. And you can see their faces, they're at a bit of a loss. No sub to buy them more time.
I think they're going to have to jump on their favorite map. I think they need to jump on Temple of Anubis after the break. Try to go for the Talon comp once more. It worked for them last time out. It's been a winning one for them. It didn't work against this team, you'll remember. But you're running out of opportunities here, Kilios.
All right, maybe it's time to run it down left, Papa Smithy. We'll see if that's going to be the selection, and maybe they'll surprise us with something a bit different, perhaps the Volskaya or the Hanamuras of the world. We'll see what they want to pull out, but for now, we will be going to a quick break. When we return, we'll see if a Freak of Freaks close out this first match with a 3-0.
언제 어디서나 깔끔하고 상쾌하게
이런 게 트래비스 스타일.
Stylish sparkling water, Trevi.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, of Freak of Freaks Blue. Have been doing dirty things to X6-Gaming in these first two maps. It is so very close on Night Market, but after that, the thread just started unraveling.
It's only about 35 days ago that they 3-0'd them, and Achilles looking more and more like it could be 6-0 over the team of X6-Gaming for a Freak of Freaks Blue. We are already 2-0 up, and now you have the choice of perhaps our last map type. We wondered if X6 could at least push a Freak of Freaks Blue to Escort, which has been kind to the side of X6, but looking unlikely. Avoiding Hanamura is probably smart. Already 2-0 this season on the side of Freak of Freaks Blue, but increasingly, I don't think they care.
It doesn't really matter. Maybe it's, maybe you need to...
Oh, the adjustment of the glasses. Great from Recry.
Just having some fun. Maybe you need to surprise them by picking their best map. Maybe that'll offset a Freak of Freaks. I don't know. You gotta try something crazy here, but very likely to see Temple of Anubis yet again. But actually, okay, they will surprise.
Well, going to where they're weak, haven't been able to find that, so go to somewhere you feel you are strong. They will avoid Temple of Anubis that has actually been 3 out of the 4 maps for Assault that have been played this season by X6-Gaming, so they're trying something new. We'll see if they have a strategy. The Talon strategy was debuted by X6 into Apex, coming from the Challenger Series. They're going to need to debut something else, because I feel like if you go on standard, a Freak of Freaks Blue go down 3-0 winners.
And to clarify the Talon strategy, for those of you who might be new.
Sombra Reaper, baby.
Yeah, run the Sombra Reaper, drop the EMP, drop that Death Blossom,
Profit.
Just kill everybody.
Yep, that is the Profit duo. Might be difficult on Hanamura to pull it off as easily as you can on Temple of Anubis, but you got to find something, Achilles.
We'll see if X6 can piece something together, if they can pick up a single map and finally give a Freak of Freaks Blue a loss, or if they're just going to close this out, move on to the semifinals, 15-0. Let's go ahead, load up for Hanamura.
I get it.
Fans still hanging in there on the side of X6-Gaming, but might not have too much more to cheer for after Hanamura.
And the only feel-good moment you can kind of remember in this series for the side of X6-Gaming was the opening salvo on the Night Market map on Lijiang Tower, where they hung back, Mano jumped in, died first, and it was a very good defensive play.
That's neat. He made an Illidan shirt. He did. And now he's hitting it.
As you do.
All right, there you go, Blizzard. You got a new item for your store.
Recry continues to basically just stick with the soldier and working out just fine for the side of Freaks Blue, who very often go with these tracerless comps, which are something different compared to a lot of other teams. They don't have a primary tracer player. Highest is surprisingly Donghyun, their D.Va player, who's at 24% when he switches over from the side of D.Va, but they just look so comfortable. Starting on defense here, very, very standard. You could basically piece together this Afrika Freaks Blue lineup on these heroes every time, and they don't need to adapt to anything because they're setting the meta themselves.
Yep. Well, no surprise here. Arhan going to be starting things off on defense with this Genji.
And X6-Gaming don't trust in the dive. Godsby once again going to be jumping on the soldier. Going to be a lot about ult economy here, given that there's a lot in common between these comps.
Timeboy goes into the back, cuts his way around the flank and onto the high ground. Just hunting for some of that sweet, sweet ult percentage.
And finding Ana. Lucid is one of the people you want to shut down. No Zenyatta on the side of Afrika Freaks Blue, so a Zenyatta Transcendence advantage would be big, as this is a big fight.
Yeah, meanwhile, behind the point of all places, we're going to have a bit of a fight break out as Timeboy comes into the back line. Godspeed does get booped off to death. Timeboy going low, has to force out the recall, and Arhan is straight on top of him right away. They do trade one in onto Mono. Recry goes down. Couple picks here for X6-Gaming. Decent little start if they can just get onto the point and get this rolling. Transfer this at least into a single tick. They're dashing around. Lucid falls. IDK still alive. Bebe will go down. X6 still getting stopped out a little bit. Dragonblade comes through Arhan, but he's going to die mid-dash.
Yeah,
no
desperation.
Him to death.
Desperation there from Arhan because the members have started to go down, so the percentage ticks up. There's going to be a trickle from Afrika Freaks Blue because the respawns are going to take a while to get back here.
Yeah, they just want to buy as much time here. IDK popping up that heal, amplifying things up and keeping Mono alive, at least for the moment. He goes dangerously low, will die as Nosebite pops the Primal Rage and takes him out back in onto the point. Trying to get the poop off onto the Lucio. And this might just be the abandon here from Afrika Freaks.
Yeah, it looked like it was close, but
Oh,
when the
they're gonna
position,
go for it.
yeah, they're going to try. Last second
Sound
death.
barrier comes through, Transcendence matched here by X6, and Recry dies right off the bat. So already a good start for X6-Gaming. Donghyun tossing out that self-destruct, looking for a pick, won't find it, zones him off the point for a second or two. Denies that second tick from coming through, but he's got to get himself out to safety as they start chasing in. Just firing shot after shot into the pack of Choi Hyobin, but still not going to be gaining much, but they still maintain control of the point for now.
And they also provoke some ultimates to be used by Godspeed to start off with the tack visor. There's the answering tack visor.
Cap almost comes through. Arhan, he's going to get the nano boost, comes through with the Dragon Blade, swiping away, trying to get the kill in on the Nosebite, finds it for the Quadra kill, getting rid of Timeboy. And just like that, Afrika Freaks just do it yet again. We saw it on Night Market, now we see it on Hanamura. Arhan pops off on the Genji and just destroys the ranks of X6.
And look
Two
at
with one swipe.
Yeah, the target selection, lovely onto Recry and also the Lucio at the same time. Can jump through. So much invested by X6-Gaming on their last attack. They have no ultimates and suddenly just a minute 20 time bank.
93.6% was what was attained there by X6-Gaming, but now in danger of being full health. Arhan dangerously low up on that high ground. Seeks to get himself out to safety. Looks like he can do just that. Will heal up. Timeboy goes in, finds the stick. Gets rid of Recry. That's just one, and now Arhan looking to give him a hard time. Down to 38. Can he finish him off? Medkit almost comes up, but the swipe will take him down. In the meantime, the cap starts coming through for the rest of X6-Gaming as they pile in on top of the point. Don't have any defensive ultimates at the moment, and Arhan is just playing forward into the front lines, into Baby's face, but he just takes him out.
Yeah, 2 down, and they don't have a lot of time to play with. So the respawn's going to take a long, long time, relatively. Mono super low, gets back on.
Oh, but he dies. Mid-flight, Godspeed is able to take him down as X6 desperately wants this cap.
And they desperately also, Achilles, don't want to use either of these support ultimates. Want them for a snowball cap on point B. Will keep them. Will have a nice war chest. They got one really good go. If they can get it on the first capture here, that would be massive. Otherwise, we know about how much you can be frustrated on Hanamura point B.
Timeboy.
Actually dash backwards there.
Playing with our emotions. There we go. Makes it over safely. Doesn't have a pulse bomb, but this is going to be the all-in here from several sides as the Nano Boost actually comes down in onto Mono. Nosebite's going to be the first one to get taken out as Arhan dashes his way to a second kill, taking out Timeboy. Mono still very healthy, has a Primal Rage to keep himself alive as well, as Arhan has already built up another Dragon Blade. Bebe under siege, will go down now. Going to be looking for Godspeed, a couple more hits. Will finish him off, and that first push from X6 isn't going to find anything.
Yeah, and all they needed was the nano boost onto the monkey. Mono running around, had Primal Rage to start, but that was the only tool they wanted to invest. because they would then be able to build it up easily if they were able to win the fight. They always wait and decide, okay, we've used something. They're basically scientists. They only ever have one independent variable. Throw out the first ult and reassess. The first ult got them the first 2 kills. Point B, impossible to take in a 4v6 scenario. X6-Gaming have 4 ultimates of their own, but it's very soon going to be 5 on the side of a Freak of Freaks Blue.
Yeah, Arhan yet again going onto the high ground, just trying to wreak havoc and just take out Godsby. He does just that, as 2 other members have already died. Hyobin jumping off the side of the map just to get the reset. That'll be the team kill coming through, and a Freak of Freaks Blue building their way up towards another nano boost. Lucid's at 70% just about.
And you remember how a Freak of Freaks Blue, sorry, how X6-Gaming beat Team Envious, and a lot of it was playing around their supports. Basically, we saw a lot of Donghyun peeling for, a lot of Choi Hyobin peeling for Gilly and Bebe, and that was super effective in that series. But the opening frags, or the opening kills in this particular series, have often been onto the DPS members of X6-Gaming. Timeboy has been taken out first, usually a big thorn in the side of others. Rekai dies first this time, maybe for X6, this is the time.
Gonna be looking for it, the sound barrier comes down, but that's the Dragon Blade out from Arhan, swiping away, gets rid of Godsby right off the bat. Self-destruct comes through, not gonna find a single target. The Transcendence is used here by Bebe, trying to keep everybody topped up on the point. Will expire, Nano Boost now thrown out. Arhan goes down off screen, but Recry with the high ground gets rid of the enemy Zenyatta. And this could just be yet another cork pushed right into X6's push.
Yeah, Recry just had so much time on the high ground that usually, especially in previous seasons, teams spent all their time contesting. Never contested Recry. He free hits. More tools and time are wasted from the side of X6-Gaming. Recry doesn't need attack visor to make them pay.
Still a ways away, though, is a Freak of Freaks Blue from these defensive ultimates. Ready K using the sound barrier, Lucid using the nano boost there.
Hyobin jumps onto the Roadhog now, so they're going to try something different, looking for an initial pick. Usually have to mix up your strategy on point B if you don't get that snowball capture.
He wants to take out Arhan right off the bat. If you can find him or one of the supports, it'd be so crucial for X6 actually shoving in onto this point. But now, wrap around, back onto the high ground yet again.
This time they contest it, so that we will not see Recry opening up for free here.
Arhan trying to work his way back up there, but has to pop the deflect and keep himself safe. X6 have a couple ultimates to use here. Timeboy, if he can find a big opening with that pulse bomb, that would be the go button here for X6.
Priority to build up the Nano Blade, neither available for the side of a Freak of Freaks Blue. That's why they're not hard committing. They want that in their war chest.
Yeah, only 65%. Mono goes low, has to leap out. Hook comes down, and actually Mono off screen will die. Timeboy was able to chase him down, takes him out. Now Donghyun
Front line completely gone.
Bebe has fallen though. So very crucial support has been taken out, but Godsby with that tack visor gets rid of the Baby Demon. Recry has died from the Primal Rage. And they'll get rid of IDK. X6-Gaming, this is going to be the go button, but Arhan draws out the Dragon Blade, goes dangerously low, will be zapped to death by Nosebite as they leap back in onto the point where they already have the first tick. Pile back in, Mono getting rid of Hyobin.
Donghyun has the ultimate here, might be able to buy some time for the respawns. We're not in overtime, so picking up these kills is actually going to be very consequential for a Freak of Freaks Blue. X6-Gaming going to have to be creative just to keep this point from passing over.
Interesting. Well, Arhan moving off that Genji. Has the hit scan, flashbang to kill, gets rid of Gilly, who's trying to desperately to sprint back into the point, but they can't do it. X6 get the first point, but they don't get B.
No ability for them to take it. Like you say, Achilleos, valiant efforts last time seemed like it would be enough, but because they weren't actually pushing in overtime, the respawns came through. Freak of Freaks Blue able to contest, and now they set themselves a very realistic goal on attack. Standard of Freak of Freaks Blue defense. Probably most typified by the Nano Boost being used on the Winston on the first attack, and even though X6-Gaming had a lot of ultimates, 2 picks, it didn't matter how many ults, they were never going to be using them, ended up just being an eco push, and now just getting onto point B is very realistic for a Freak of Freaks Blue.
44% is all that they're going to need to get the victory here, close out this match in, pretty much less than an hour since the time the first map started. So in a very strong position, and every team watching this has to be striking fear into their hearts. Everybody that could possibly be facing off against a Freak of Freaks Blue in that semifinal.
But kind of the cool thing is that when you're watching this, you can't just copy their hero choices. That won't change anything. It isn't the Junkrat on attack that really captured the imagination from the side of X6-Gaming. It's just how clean they are. It's very much things like communication, which clearly instantly they will focus to single target. They will make good decisions, which often needs shot calling and veteran knowledge to know who to target down first in fights. And it changes for a Freak of Freaks Blue, where they've spent more time taking down the likes of Timeboy and Godsby with their opening picks, rather than being a team that dives to support, like a Kongdu Panthera, for example, is. So because they do so many things so cleanly, you can't just copy them. You really need to just go through a lot of practice, play a lot of scrims, and just get better at the fundamentals of competitive Overwatch.
Well, Freak of Freaks Blue, I know what that says, even though I can't quite read it in the Korean, but it says you are not prepared, and that's pretty much how it is for X6-Gaming right now.
And it's pretty much for every team in Apex, and increasingly every team in the world, Achilles.
Well, here we go, Donghyun wrapping around the sides. We'll be finding this turret in a moment. Should be able to just take this one out before really Gilly can build up anything.
Yeah, definitely a counterpoint. And what was it? He got his full ultimate with his first turret on defense previously. 2 picks already from the side of Freak of Freaks Blue.
Go ahead, posture up another one on the backside of the pit, but that one's just going to be taken down about as quickly. 26% all that he has on that Torbjorn, and the Freak of Freaks Blue are already in onto this point.
They got positioning on it, looking for the contest. They're waiting to have Diva and Winston both having their leaps and boosts available, but for now they're still at the point, and that's 1 checkpoint already.
I mean, this triple DPS is working out so well. Donghyun just firing away into the sidelines of X6-Gaming, building up for that pulse bomb, has it ready to go. Dashes forward to finish off Gyobin, throws out the pulse bomb, will die, but gets rid of that turret yet again. Gilly now all on his own, exposed, will fall as Arhan just throws those shurikens out, finds victory, and that will be the first cap coming through. Just about 7 minutes on the clock to make it to 43.8%.
And they do it with the Rogue special. You know, they do it with the triple DPS, which is Donghyun getting off of the Diva and jumping onto the Tracer. And actually, on his stream, they actually said they took the inspiration from scrimming against Rogue, as Arhan just dashes down Timeboy, and they're basically trying to refine what Rogue did, and so far, looking pretty damn good on this map.
Yep. Arhan peels back, keeps himself alive, and Bebe has been taken out by Donghyun yet again, just diving
It's only 44%, and we're at 34.5 already.
Yeah, Tac Visor comes out here from Recries, they boop them off. Cap still coming through, gets rid of Bebe. That's about a team kill, and that'll just be the cap. That'll be the victory of Freak of Freaks Blue yet again. 3-0 over X6. They will advance to the semifinal, 15-0.
So many favorites have tussled so far at the start of the round of 8. People talking smack, Miro very memorably just a few days ago. Freak of Freaks Blue seem to just be calling it as it is, saying, yep, 3-0 once again. They don't need to show us innovation. They either run their standard 2-2-2 or Donghyun jumps onto Tracer, and everything they touch turns to gold. It's amazing because they do it so quickly as well. Like you say, an hour of game time, and they already get to take a couple of weeks rest and come straight into the semifinal.
I know you're not much of a man for Lord of the Rings, but to quote a certain Uruk, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. A Freak of Freaks Blue will have their steak tonight.
And now you have to wonder what they're going to be getting if they win the whole thing. They're going to get some Wagyu beef, I guess, or some really nice stuff because, yeah, right now the menu seems to include being Apex Season 3 champions. That's the main course, and they're very much working towards it. Another best of 5 and a best of 7. That could just be 7 maps, and I mean, game over.
You just wonder who can stand up to this team right now. It would take one hell of a performance to be able to take down a Freak of Freaks, as they have just steamrolled their way into that semifinal.
I think the final was played today. The answer is no one, Achilles, but there is still time. There will be plenty more games of Overwatch for teams to build up synergy. The trendsetters in the winners match don't always have the meta, and also their recent results working for them in a month's time whenever we do get around to that final. It's still going to be plenty of stages before then. The Freak of Freaks Blue, they walk over. It's very easy to be gracious when you're 3-0 winners, but they do it so cleanly.
Good sportsmanship still here, though, from X6-Gaming. I mean, they had to expect a loss or be prepared for one coming into this. Definitely hoping for better results to at least take a map or even a round off of the, King of the Hill maps there. But unfortunately, Freaks Blue is just that damn good.
Crucially, they're not eliminated, of course. They will be sitting in, waiting at the losers bracket final to face the winner of Team Envious versus Meta Athena, which is another one of these very fun matches to come.
Yeah, bit of a storied history there. So see who comes out on top of that one. Maybe we get Envious versus X6 yet again. You never know. And then it could be time for vengeance for the Western heroes
Vengeance over Freak Freaks Blue. That is one thing that no team is really close to. They come in the winners, and, well, we get to jump to our second series very fast, and it should be an excellent one. Luxury Watch Blue versus Kongdu Panthera. There may be some asterisks. The lineups, they're going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
But hopefully the Overwatch is more competitive than Series 1.
I think that it will be, you know. Kongdu Panthera just recently taking down Lunatic High. LW Blue 3-1 over Conbox Spirit. So both of these teams in pretty solid states, not quite at the level of a Freak Freaks Blue, which means that it's going to be a more even playing field.
Target selection, ult economy, the sound box comes live, and a Freak Freaks Blue. Straightforward wins.
Yep, fantastic games from these guys. Look forward to seeing them in the semifinal. For now, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we return, we'll have our second match of the night and see who our second semifinalist will be as we see Luxury Watch Blue take on Kongdu Panthera. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.